FA Cup team of the round including Giant Killers and Chelsea and Liverpool stars. The third round of the FA Cup was packed with shocks as Cambridge United and Kidderminster Harriers delivered standout results against opponents from higher up the pyramid. Cambridge's win at Newcastle United was particularly eye-catching, while National League North side Kidderminster and Boreham Wood of the National League Premier both made it into the hat for the fourth round. It wasn't just a case of the Minnows making it through, though, with Nottingham Forest stunning Arsenal and Hull City coming close to doing the same against Everton. There was also room for some impressive displays from those Premier League players whose teams did progress, with youngsters and senior players alike putting in some statement performances. Here is Mirror Football's team of the round, including a mix of top-flight players and giant killers from a busy weekend of football. Who makes your team of the round? Let us know in the comments section. With Newcastle drawn against lower league opposition at home, many had wondered if it would be a case of how many for the newly minted top-flight side. Instead, Bulgarian goalkeeper Mitov kept Eddie Howe's side at bay with save after save to keep the U's in the tie, with Joe Ironside's goal enough to secure one of the shocks of the round. The 24-year-old was released by former club Charlton Athletic without playing a single first-team minute, but he showed his quality at St James Park. Arsenal's Gabriel Martinelli has been in fine form of late, but his quiet evening at the City Ground owed a lot to Spence. The Forest right-back impressed at both ends of the pitch, regularly posing a threat and ensuring Arsenal's own attacks remained an afterthought. Spence is only on loan at Forest from Middlesbrough, but more performances like this one ought to bring enough interest in a permanent move. Kidderminster's impressive win over Reading was a team effort where everyone can be proud of their performance, but Bajrami's display earns him a mention of his own. The young centre-back was born to parents fleeing the war in Kosovo and at building a career for himself at a lower level after coming through the ranks at Birmingham City. A match-up with Romanian international George Puskas was a real test, and Bajrami and his teammates helped keep their team in the tie before 2 second-half goals gave them victory. Chelsea's worries over out-of-contract players didn't seem so pressing after Hull's performance against Chesterfield. The 17-year-old started on the left side of a back three, an unfamiliar position, but one where he showed he may well have a future. He certainly didn't look like a player making his senior debut, helping the Blues cruise past their opponents. Johnson, like Hull, is generally more comfortable in a different position to that which he occupied over the weekend and just edges out Wolves' Rayan Aït-Nouri for a spot in this selection. The West Ham Academy product has switched flanks from his usual right-back berth with Aaron Cresswell injured and impressed in a surprisingly comfortable win over Leeds. His next test in the Cup, a trip to Kidderminster in the fourth round, will be a very different prospect. Liverpool were depleted by injury, illness and rested players as they took on Shrewsbury, but a less experienced Zai might have panicked after going behind. Not every team will be able to call on a Brazilian international to turn things around, but the former Monaco man still had to show up. Fabinho scored twice in the come-from-behind victory, helping youngsters such as Tyler Morton and Elijah Dixon-Boner come through their test. Hull fell just short in their match against Everton, eventually falling to Andros Townsend's extra-time winner, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Honeyman was everywhere for the hosts, making Premier League opposition look ordinary. The former Sunderland man didn't get much of a Premier League chance for the Black Cats, but has been enjoying a resurgence under Grant McCann. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta felt the need to withdraw left-back Nuno Tavares, and Johnson has a part to play in that. The Nottingham-born winger terrified Arsenal whenever he got the ball at his feet, demonstrating frightening pace and movement throughout. It was Johnson who almost created an opener for Philip Zinckernagel before Lewis Graben delivered a late winner, and he could be one to watch for Wales as they attempt to secure a World Cup spot in the March playoffs. While Arsenal fell to second-tier opposition, Wolves has no such trouble, and Potence was one of the main reasons for that. Bruno Lage's side have missed the influence of the Portuguese international during his spells on the sidelines, but he was everywhere in the 3-0 victory over Sheffield United, ensuring there's no place in this team of the round for the likes of Manchester City's Cole Palmer or Leicester City's Ademola Lookman. Wolves will face fellow Premier League side Norwich City in the next round, and another performance of this quality ought to be more than enough to send Lage's men into the fifth round. There will be more pressure on all eyes in January with Wilfried Zaha and Jordan Ayew away at Afcon, but if the game against Millwall was an audition then he certainly passed. The Lions threatened to cause a shock, going in ahead at the break through Benica Phobe, but Palace's comeback was all eyes. The former Reading man showed shades of Arjen Robben as he terrorized home defender Scott Malone, cutting in from the right to score an equaliser and going close again before providing the winning goal for Jean-Philippe Mateta. Kidderminster's result meant Boreham Woods went a little under the radar by comparison, but the sight of two non-league sides in the fourth round is huge. Marsh was the difference maker against AFC Wimbledon, showing some real quality to score the opener before Adrian Clifton wrapped up victory late on. The 28-year-old has spent the bulk of his career in the National League or below, but he showed how the FA Cup can be a great leveler.